that's a very impressive project to follow. So I will also echo this theme of just being inspired by the incredible work that so many folks on this call are doing. It just makes me more than being excited to um, be a, a flow funder and to be responsible for making a difference in the trajectory of the work of these organizations. I just feel so privileged to be part of a cohort of folks that are connected to work that really matters for the present and future of our planet. So just thank you to everyone at Kinship Earth for this opportunity. Again, not just to be a flow funder, but to be connected with everyone on this call. Um, my journey was really unexpected. I really went into this thinking, I'm going to direct as much money to the Caribbean as
Mm,
possible because, that's, I think I wake up every day thinking about the Caribbean. I go to sleep every night thinking about the Caribbean. And that's the bioregion that I'm put on this earth to serve. But I did get the opportunity. I was unexpectedly connected to a community in West Bengal in India, and I was surprised that uh, I ended up feeling inspired to flow some funds to this one particular ashram, which serves as an orphanage and a school for uh, um, orphans and destitute children um, with a very large age range. I think it's like from birth to no, it's from the youngest uh, person is uh, 2 years old, and the oldest kids that they have are in their early 20s. And so, kids is a very elastic term. But I was just really moved by their work. And so I was able to flow funds to support their food garden, which in part was for environmental education as well. And it was just really moving to connect with these folks. And one of the challenges, of course, was a language barrier, but that just made the process just feel so much more like, I don't know, spiritual in a way, because it wasn't always easy, but it was really really worth it to see the impact. I was also able to flow funds to a local organization here where I live in Brooklyn, doing reentry work. And with those funds, the Peter Harris Outreach Center was able to generate workshops that helped introduce justice impacted men to green job opportunities here that are local. And so, really trying to create opportunities for folks that are often marginalized in the job market that are centered around the protection of the planet, which is something again, unexpected. I didn't go into this thinking that that would be where I would land, but I was just so moved by the potential of the work and just meeting the guys that it just seemed very right to me. And lastly, I was able to flow funds to an organization in my home country, Trinidad and Tobago, with an organization that does work at the intersection of climate action and gender justice and gender equity. And so the person who is to wrap this up, the person who's oh okay good, the person who I was able to flow the funds to has this really exciting project um, uh, looking at the effects of extreme heat and water scarcity on vulnerable bodies, particularly the elderly in rural communities in Trinidad. Super, super specific. And I know, I hope, I know that that's a very like niche project, but I was so moved by the potential impact because those niche projects are where a lot of communities gets overlooked, right? Like, what are the specific impacts of human-driven climate change on these rural communities and vulnerable bodies in rural communities in Trinidad? And so I was really intrigued by the work that she was doing and the funding actually enabled the outreach that was necessary to initiate that project. Because it's one thing to put together the science part of that, but to do the outreach is also as resource intensive. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Um, I've just been really surprised by this whole process and who I was able to connect with through this process. And I really believe in the project of flow funding, even when it's messy. I was able to make impact that would not have happened but for this opportunity. So thank you.